Hey everybody, and welcome back to Trading Places, the set of lots of design swapping and map, I don't know exactly what word to put there that rhymes with swapping. But anyway, we are on level 56, Blue Raspberry Slushy. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this one. Um, so right off the bat, I think I know what this is. This is that one level that Josh made. The layout is at one level that Josh made where you had the blocks underwater and you had to like push them in very specific ways. And I forget the name of it, but it had that whole thing going. And alright, I'm just gonna assume that you do that because that seems reasonable. So here, let's try to like stick to the things that are fairly we can infer without too much trouble. Now, I don't know if that all we have to do, or do we have to go... Oh, we have to bridge there, too. Oh, that's clever. Okay. So it's not just getting the chips, you actually have to get to the next room, too. So wait, can I have gone... No. Okay, I had to have gone through here. Alright. Totally fine. So, each of the puzzles here seems to start off with a forced move, if you will. Let me see if I can glean some information from going over here. It looks like I need to ultimately go in that direction over there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken... Oh, there's a teleport. Okay, that I did not know. Okay. I'm seeing some stuff here, and it's interesting. So that block is going to be used to get to the next area. As for this area, I don't actually know what to make of this. If I push this here and I push this here... Oh wait, I can just turn that around, right. It's another case of like not visualizing everything properly in my head. Okay, so now I go this way. This is really interesting. I like the way, like, the same design elements are used, but you get to kind of get a bit of a different take on them in every room, which I think is really interesting. Part of what I'm doing to solve this is I'm kind of logicking out what you absolutely must use where, as far as, like, things being on the edge and whatnot. I think that kind of helps a bit. Like, this is on the edge of this room. That block over there is on the edge of that. I'm going to push this up for now. But I have a feeling that this is not where this is eventually supposed to end up. I think I'm supposed to do something like this. And then... Okay, I don't know if this is right or not. I was a little more sure of myself before this point. I feel like that makes sense to go there. So, what I'm noticing about this is that I have only really 2 usable blocks at the moment. Which kind of makes this a little bit tricky. Because I could push this up and then push that left, but then that leaves this one to then turn around and go back up with. I don't really see any other way really around that. So I think I may have cooked this. Yeah, I don't really see any way around this. I don't think I can extract this safely. So we'll just go ahead and start over. So yeah, fun level. I like it a lot. So far. This first room is fairly simple. One thing I'm curious about is are the blocks from the original level laid out in the exact same way? Part of me wants to say yes, because I think these formations were used. Well, this one here may not have been. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Okay, now I'm trying to remember how I did this. Oh yeah, that's right. I went over here, didn't I? Yeah. This one is thankfully fairly straightforward. Once you realize where everything is, that is. Okay. So now we go here. So the thieves on the sides are just kind of there for decoration and space filling, it looks like. Okay. So this room, I don't really fully understand what's going on in this room. At least I don't think I do. I'm wondering, maybe what we ultimately have to do is start with this and go down here. Or wait, isn't this what we did before? For some reason I thought it was different. Now I'm doubtful of that. I feel like we just did the exact same thing, which is not great. Yeah. I want to get to that fourth room. We'll get there. We'll get there. Do that. Do that. Yeah, that block arrangement, I feel like that was in the original level. I don't know, there's just something about it that feels familiar to me. Okay. Let's go through here, go around. I feel like this should be simpler, considering that I've seen the layout and where you're supposed to ultimately go. But looks can be deceiving, of course, and yeah. Maybe the trick here is to start by doing this. Let's do that first. Because I think by doing that, now I can go here, and I can start doing some bridging. Yeah, this is totally it. Yeah, that's really cool. That definitely takes some brain power, but thankfully it's not excessive. Okay, final room. Well, I think my move here is forced. I have to go up here and up here. So here's where things get interesting. Where do I go with this? So I could start going down that way, which that seems obvious as like a move to make, but I don't know if that's correct. And I say obvious because everything fits so well, but then again, that could be used to get to the flippers eventually, so that might not be correct at all. So yeah, what do you do with this block? That's my question. Because I can make a loop here, but then bridging there doesn't really accomplish anything. It's really this space that I need to get to. And that space, I'm not sure how to reach. Like, that space, I just don't know how to approach that. And it has to be there, because that's the only way to get inside the socket room there. Yeah. Wait a minute. I just need to get the chips. I don't need to worry about bridging that way. Okay, in that case, I'm absolutely doing this. Okay. So with that in mind, let's see if we can work with this, with our meager amount of blocks here. I'm just seeing if there's something we can do. I mainly did that just to kind of get rid of some of the visual clutter, so to speak, around here, but now I'm not really seeing how you would handle this. Like, where would you go with that? Like, that's... Yeah, I don't think we have this. This is not looking good. Unless, wait a minute. Maybe this whole room is a red herring, and maybe the whole point is to get over there to the flippers. Maybe that's what we're supposed to be doing the whole time. Could that be it? Oh man, if that's it, that's really clever. I like that. That is amazing. Okay, I like that. I was almost about to restart the level, and I'm so glad I did not. That was really fun. Well played. Alright, Old Century Bunk... Wait, that's in this set? Oh, wow. I remember seeing this in one of Josh's compilation sets. I don't think it was in... It was definitely not in his submission set. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But yeah, this is... I think this is Dissonance Amid the Storm from Ultimate Chip 6. So I remember seeing... I remember when I first saw this level, I remember seeing this outer area and recognizing that it was the random force floor bit from the original level, which I think is really cool. And it's been turned into this... It kind of reminds me a little bit of what Josh did with... oh, what's the name of that level? Oh, man. Now I'm going to be racking my brain trying to remember the name of this thing. Not Disintegrated Canyon. The other one. Oh, wait a minute. I need all of those to get through there. So I need to explore other areas first. Oh, man. What is the name of that level? I'm gonna be spending this whole level just thinking about that one now. Sandstorm Shelter. There we go. Not the whole level. Sandstorm Shelter. The outer area of that one is what this reminds me of. Okay, so let's go through here. I need to make a switcheroo. So while we're doing this, I should mention, in between days of recording, I looked up, wait a minute, how do you get through here? Evidently, we don't get to that from this angle. I looked up the levels that I wasn't sure about. One of them was the glider, what was it called, Coercion, the one with that whole deal. That whole glider thing. Here we go, I can get this. You use the glider to get a teeth around. And then the other one I wasn't sure about was Divine Terminus, which, is that a Kirby reference, by the way? And... oh. Am I supposed to lead a monster through this? That's interesting. So both of them, as I had suspected, were layouts that were not a part of Ultimate Ship 6 or Josh L7. And they were both Josh levels that used the previous Ultimate Ship layouts. And now I'm worried that okay, I just need to do that. Okay. I didn't know if there was like a specific path I needed to carve out through this whole socket maze, and thankfully that is not the case. But yeah, one of them was a level called Mirror Image from Ultimate Ship 1, the original one, and then the other one was, I think it was called Be the Ball, or no, something about a ball. I forget the name of this level, but Block the Ball. Oh man, I forgot it. I'm getting old. I'm forgetting stuff. You know. You know how it be. And now I gotta figure out how to get back around to that silly area there. How do you do that? It's interesting because the original level involved this kind of doing stuff with trap buttons and whatnot, but this is very decidedly different. Okay, I just need to get through there. Oh wait, that's how you do it. You just do that. Derp. Okay. We did it! Yay! We just need to get the fireball through the gauntlet of pain. Except not really, this is pretty painless. The question is, how do I avoid getting my boots stolen? Can I? Okay, good. I was like, I didn't know if we had to do like a dig for fire kind of thing where a monster had to toggle the walls or something like that. Alright, so that is complete now. Now we can move on to hacking to the gate. Alright, what do we got going on here? This seems to involve some very specific things, so I'm worried that if I collect the wrong stuff, I might be in for a bad time. But I'm just going to act like that's not the case for now. So this is the wall pattern of, I believe, Inspection from the beginning of Josh L7. Oh, this is interesting. Huh, okay. I'm really curious to see what Jeffrey does with this. Okay, get over here. Now the question is there a reason not to go up there for now? And I would say, wait a minute, there is this room. Okay. I'm going to say that that's fine, hopefully. Alright, now let's go up in here. Okay, that seems pretty simple. Uh-oh. We have a Sokoban, and it's an interesting one with some stuff here. Okay. I'm a little nervous, but I think we got this. My only issue is the whole, like, series of dependencies that we would need to account for with all these. Like, is there a way I can ensure that I can get stuff in here without a problem? Like, putting 2 blocks up here might have been a mistake. Okay, I do need all of those to do that. I'm curious if this is actually possible. Hang on a sec. I'm going to go back. It would be like Jeffrey to do something like that, I feel like. To not put like a Yaskable Sokoban in there. See, what's interesting is that there's this path here, and I don't know exactly what the point of this is, but I'm seeing a theoretical path that the fireball could potentially travel. My only question about this would be, hang on a sec. I'm assuming we've pretty much ruined this, but well, maybe not. Hang on. I just don't see how you can get the fireball out. Was I supposed to bring something in here? Or am I supposed to bring down a block? Maybe that's the key here. Let's give it a shot at least. I mean, it can't hurt. This feels like the kind of thing I would do in a level. So, I'm automatically a fan. Oh wait, that's not going to do any good. I know there's a way you can do this. I'm just trying to remember how. Without wasting a block. Maybe you have to waste one, though. Let me just look over here real quick. So, I put something there. I put one there, and I put one there. Is that... Maybe the idea is that we just need to run through the traps and that they don't have to continuously go. Let's give that a shot. Oh, I forgot to turn the toggle back. Wow. Okay. Well, the good news is we now know what to look out for here. That's really clever. This is the kind of level I like, where you think you know what the solution is, and then you get to the end and it's like, oh. Oh. I really like that. I think it's really fun. And this is like a really nice layout for that, too. Like, everything leading up to the end is really simple, and then you see that Sokoban, and it's like, oh, you know, it's a normal Sokoban. But I think what kind of clued me in that something wasn't quite right was, and I know this is not really fair in the context of the level, is that I know Jeffrey normally does not like what he would call Yaskable Sokobans, where you can plug them into yet another Sokoban clone. Okay, so I'm gonna run with the assumption that we were on the right track with this. My only question here is there a way we can save more blocks? And I think we have saved all the, like, the number we had last time, but maybe there's a different method we could use to retain stuff. That I would be curious in figuring out. I just don't want to end up in a situation where I end up wasting a block. Yeah, there's nothing in this room as is that really, like, sounds off any alarm bells. I'm just going to look here just to see. So theoretically, I could put something there, right? So the fireball would go around. I could also, by the way, do that. Fireball could go around. Yeah, I don't see any other way you could really force this unless the block were placed on the edge. Not unless you had 2 blocks. Like that I could see. Getting 2 blocks in here. But if I got 2 blocks in here, then I'm only left with 2 for here, which is not a particularly good way to do this. So is there a way to handle this with only 3 blocks? Providing that just a single set of presses is not all you need. That's what I'm kind of curious about here. I'm trying to avoid sending the fireball in a non-clockwise direction because that would inherently involve more blocks by nature. So, yeah. One, two, three. So let me do this. I'm going to try my idea out that I had last time, and if that doesn't work, then I'll at least know mostly for sure that I need to look somewhere else, right? Like, I'll at least know, have some assurance that I need to start thinking a little differently. So let's give this a shot. I have a feeling that this is not going to work, by the way. But you never know. So we'll give it a good old college try. Also, that was not very... Wait. Man, I just realized I don't actually have to worry about how long it stays there. I could just send it down to the ice slide, have it bounce around. Although, would it bounce around? Because it would just come right back and maybe loop in there, which may not be a good idea. So I may want to start looking elsewhere for a... Or I may want to go back to my original method there. Because that one was definitely suboptimal. Yeah, that final room, I just want to make sure we're using everything at our disposal and we're not wasting any blocks. I also feel like that room right there is, I feel like it's trying to tease something much more complicated, but it seems fairly straightforward. I don't really see how the fireball could help in that context, so... You know what I'll do? I'll do this. Save a block and give us some more time. So let's do that. Yeah, I would need to make absolutely sure that the fireball made it through the first time, because if it doesn't, it's going to come back and just go in a loop forever, which is not what we want. So I think what I did wrong last time is I came in from the outside to do the redirection when I really need to go in here and then run. Run. Oh no, that was not enough time. Yeah, that was not enough time. Okay, I'm gonna just assume that we need to come up with a continual loop, a perpetual loop, rather. That would make the most sense at this point. I think what I really like about this is that you do legitimately have to use the elements in the level to start everything up to like get to the spaces you're supposed to go to and do the things you need to do initially. And then when you get to the end, they're all kind of turned on their side a bit. With the exception of that room, I still don't really quite understand what's going on there, but that's fine. Okay, so we have 6 blocks. So if I have 4, I'm still not sure if I'm missing something with the fireball in that room. You know what I just thought of? Hang on a sec. I just thought of something. I'm going to stick with this opening sequence here, by the way. But what I'm wondering about is it possible to get the fireball in this room initially? And I think the answer might be yes. The only caveat, though, is... and the reason why I'm asking this is I'm curious if there is a way that you can use 2 blocks to get the fireball down, like put them above, 2 spaces above the fire where the lower rightmost chip is. Because I don't think you can get, other than bridging this way, which I'm assuming you don't want to do that, right? I can't get any blocks without the socket there, so that's kind of an issue. But if I use my 2 blocks and I get the fireball in here without... I'm going to get these because I need those to get the blocks in here to begin with. So the only thing I could see that might be problematic about all of this is it may not really accomplish anything more than wasting a block here, because this whole thing is kind of contingent on the idea that the fireball needs to bounce around, or needs to get in here, and then you can send it on its merry way. And I'm wondering if the whole bouncing around thing might be possible for that, or toward that. That would be interesting to see. Like, I'm not seeing a way... So here's my dilemma right now. I'm not seeing a way that you can take a block down here, right? And maybe I just need to get the chips because... Yeah, I'm assuming that the bridge that we made is correct, because the fireball would need that to get up to the top, and I don't see a way to really facilitate that otherwise. So here, if the socket weren't open, the fireball would just go down here and get trapped forever. That seems to be a... there seems to be all these little things where something could go wrong if you don't set this up exactly as you need to, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't know what to think of this. I'm beginning to think that maybe I should have just stuck with my original idea here and just figured out new ways to do this with only 3 blocks. Of course, one thing I'm not thinking about is that you could, of course, send a... you could put a... you could use this gravel tile right here. Now, is that the way you do it, though? That I don't know. But I'm wondering. I am wondering. I'm just seeing if there's anything... Is that it? 1, 2, 3... I'm wondering if I need to, like, course change this. Maybe. Like, the fireball comes up here with the block where I'm standing, and then it hits maybe a block... Oh no, you can't do that because the water's in the way. That's not going to work. Yeah, this little puzzle is so devious. I don't think I really understand it. This is very interesting. I'm just trying to figure out a way to, like, self-sustain the fireball going all the way around over and over again. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I do see... So here's what's interesting. I do see the potential for a block here, a block down at the bottom... and maybe something over here, or put in the water there, but that doesn't really account for everything as far as what you would need to get out. Like, I'm not seeing how you would do that. And that's a little troubling. It really is. Yeah, this is so bizarre, and now I'm running out of time. I'm sticking with my critique that I wish these levels had way more generous time limits for what's in them. It's like if I do this, I'm just assuming that we're screwed, by the way. I do this... And I do... Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Like, this would be possible if I could bring a block back through this. Like, if I could totally get a block through all the stuff again... That would be fine. I just don't see how you can send the fireball down and keep it down here before that point. Like, that's where this is falling apart for me. I don't see a way to do that. Now, should I be seeing a way to do that? Maybe. Maybe. I just don't know what that is. And if I send it back, then what's the point? Okay, so I do see a way that you can get it down in a loop down here. Like if I go down here, I can spin it like this. But we're left with the question of how exactly do I keep it in a loop while I transport a block back where I need the block to be, right? Like that's what's really troubling about this. It's not, and maybe I'm just like doing all this math in my head incorrectly, but I don't think I am. Like, I think this concern is a valid one. Because in order to get here, I need to open up that door, right? Like, in order to get blocks across, I need to open up the socket, which means I need to get all the chips. And there's all these different conditions that are making this feel way more constrained, which is good in the sense that I'm outfitted with, you know, conditions that I can work with. But, on the other hand, it kind of makes the solution even less obvious as a result. You know, one thing we haven't talked about yet is it possible, maybe, to avoid getting that water tile filled? Of course, I don't really know what we would do as an alternative to that. I'm just looking here right now, sorry. Let me just focus on getting the stuff set up here for the fireball. Okay, let's do that. I do think that is the correct way. So like here, so here's a good example, right? In this case, I could trap the fireball here, but then I won't have the block anyway, right? So I get back to what exactly is the point of all this? And that I am not sure about. It's like here, I'll demonstrate to you what I'm thinking. Part of what makes this a little weird is that okay, I'm also just realizing now I don't want the fireball to go in the ring as well. But, hang on. What if we sent it into this room and kept it at bay in here? That's something that we haven't really discussed yet, but it's possible, though. It's possible. Okay, so now I have that there. So I'm going to begin the process of transporting this back. And then we have this one. So hang on, if I did this, so this is where I'm kind of like, okay, I can do all this fancy schmancy stuff, but at what point does it actually end up serving anything here that we're trying to accomplish? So let's say we did this, right? We got the fireball over. I'm sorry if like this is kind of to a certain degree feeling like a waste of time. Oh no. No! I did not mean to do that. Okay, let me just transport this back real quick. Okay, let's try this again. 500 seconds is not enough time for this. Figuring this out without tons of pressure to think about. Okay, there we go. Now I can't really come back, but that's fine. Okay. So now that's toggling. So the one thing I do think is interesting about this setup that I've got going here is that it's one that does allow for a block to be placed there and to be saved, and then later on to be rejoined with everything else here. So maybe this is... Wait a minute. I think this is doable. As long as I can just pop it into place there. Could this be it? Yes! Oh my gosh. Woo! Okay, I don't know if that was the intended solution or not, but man, that was tricky. If that is the intended solution, that is very well designed. I really liked it. Alright, moving on to Spirit River. Okay, I think I know what this is. This is Welcome to the 21st Century from the very first level of Ultimate Chip 6. And this looks very interesting. So I'm assuming that doing the toggles is good. Looks like we have some compaction action here. This is a very interesting way to use this wall pattern. I was kind of curious what Josh would do with this, considering that the original level was very constrained. And he definitely went a much different direction than I was expecting. Like, I was expecting like another kind of maze, like a teleport maze or something. This is, so far, way cooler. How can this bomb be blown up? Furthermore, how can you stop the cloning? Huh, okay. Interesting. Well, there's not a way to get the glider there, but I'm curious if there is a way to get a glider in here. Maybe from somewhere in this direction. Let's continue exploring. Ooh. I am liking this. This looks cool. However, I just want to make sure. There we go. Is there a way to get from the other side? Because I feel like that's the only way you can solve that. Okay, I don't like that. I like the random teeth and stuff. I know I don't have to do that in MS, but Link's habits die hard. Okay, I'm a little nervous about this, but we'll do it. There we go. That's cool. I like the way that worked. I just hope I haven't cooked that Sokoban. That's my main concern right now. Okay. Well, I didn't stop the cloning, but I made the cloning a little less frequent, so I'm assuming we can stop the cloning by doing some toggle manipulation over here. So are these 3 trap buttons connected to the traps next to that thief, or are those the ones at the bottom? That would be my question. This is really fun. I like this level. And then 2 more. Okay, I am noticing that this glider cloner can clone gliders the other way effectively, and I'm going to check to see if that helps us. Okay, here we go. Okay, I should have done this initially, but we'll take care of that in a second here. Sorry, I had to just check on something real quick. Okay, there's only 2 here. That's my bad. Okay, I'm going to trace a path to see if this glider cloner will do what I need it to do here. So we go here, go this way, then it travels there, goes there. It does. Okay, cool. That's good news. Okay, so let's take care of that. Now, okay, the red key is for the exit, so that gives me some hope that we can remove the sockets, and I think that will make the ball bouncing around controlling that thing a little easier to manage. I was worried I was about to trap myself there, but I don't think that's something we need to really worry about. Where is the... I'm just going to wait here just to be safe. I didn't hear a bomb explode, so... Well, it should have been here by now, right? Maybe it did. Oh, it did. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, we need to get that last chip by the traps to do this. Which is here. Alright. So now, I believe I can just take this and send it back into the trap. And I just need to press the button once, and that should stop. There we go. That should stop the cloning. That was fun. That I genuinely enjoyed that. That was really interesting, and it really it used the layout very well. Like, I'm impressed with this use of this layout. I don't think I could have done something nearly as creative and inventive with this. Alright, Isolation Island. Wait, this is in this set? I know Josh made this, but I thought it was like one of his reject levels, and that was not really what I wanted to do there. And I noticed he put it in one of his compilation sets, but I just assumed that this was a reject level of his. But now that I'm seeing it, I think this is the layout, roughly, of sneaking in the back door, I think was the name of it. It was one of the very early Ultimate Chip 6 levels. Alright, so we got some chips under blocks action here again. So one thing I noticed today while I was browsing PieGuy's site was that Josh updated his reject set a couple of weeks ago. And he put in some levels that looked like they were based on wall templates. I don't know exactly for sure, but one of them looked like, or at least for all of them, one of them looked, though, like the wall template of Congregate, which is the level in UC6 that had all the monsters that were kind of in the little tiny rooms. it kind of had this very modular layout with different sized rooms with monsters going around and stuff. And I was kind of sad to see his level based on that get into the rejects set that he had made. Mainly just because I was looking forward to playing that one in this set. But I guess we will be seeing a very different level at some point. It is interesting, though, because I actually made my own level for that layout in JBLP2 called Amorphous Amalgamation, which was kind of intended to sound like a Jeffrey title, because I think he's used the word amorphous as one of his level titles, and then I feel like he's created a... Yeah, he created a level in... I think it was Walls of CCLP4 called Amalgamation. Pretty sure. So I kind of made it as a tribute to both Josh and Jeffrey to a certain degree. Even though the ideas in it were very Josh-centric. Alright, I'm just going to push all these into the edge. Because that's an easy way to keep track of what we've done. I'm going to save that spot for that one. This is an interesting one. I will say the one thing I'm not a fan of with this is this kind of suffers a little bit from having the main, what I would call the main like conceit of the level be front-loaded. So this is a piece of criticism I've levied a bit at the level Extraction by Marcus O. It's a level that's shown up for like CCLP4 consideration. I think it was submitted for CCLP5. But basically the whole premise of Extraction was that you were supposed to extract various blocks by getting all these blocks onto trap buttons and then maneuvering the blocks you were extracting out. And I thought it was a really neat idea. But my main issue with it is that once you do that, once you are done with that extraction component, the rest of the level is basically just pushing all the blocks into a bunch of bombs. And it's like, and I know I'm kind of like making this simplistic to a certain degree. Like, I'm not really talking about everything in the level, but the main takeaway here is that there's a first phase that's really cool where you're doing all this stuff, you know, to get the blocks. But then once you have the blocks, what you're doing with them after that feels more tedious than anything else. And that's kind of how I feel about this level. Like, it's a neat idea, like getting all the stuff ready, and then you're starting to push everything, and now it feels... And I get that I'm being cautious, and that adds to the tedium. So that's on me. That's not the level's fault. But I feel like this is one of those levels that I think the concept could have been better serviced by a more compact layout. I really hope I did not miss a chip somewhere that I'm gonna regret just because it was like really close to one of the edges and I didn't pick it up or something. I don't think so, because I think we've been pushing, like, all the stuff we've been pushing to the edges has been blocks we have extracted stuff from. Okay, that corner is very filled up. But yeah, I think that would be my only real complaint about this level, and it's a minor complaint. It's not like I'm not having fun with this. The way the blocks and the walls are kind of put together here also kind of reminds me a bit of Squared in a Circle, somewhat, from CCLP1, which Josh also designed. Alright, we're getting down to the last few. I'm getting a little nervous now. But I think we have just enough here. Yeah. There we go. Alright, so now all we need to do is just get to the exit. And there we go. Isolation Island is done. I wonder if there's like a hint that you can get to out in the ocean or something. That would be really neat. Alright, everybody. Next time we're going to take on Submerged World. So, I don't know if this is explicitly meant to be a rink slotted level, or if this is just the level that happens to be at level 61, but we'll see. I see some ice there, so I guess we'll find out. But until then, thanks so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed today's episode, and I will catch you next time. So take care, and I will see you then.